almost a week of trial.
It's like, that's a feeling you've never felt before.
For the mother of a school shooter. A live look at what's ahead of the Caribbean Series at Lone Depot Park. And Super Bowl champion visits a very special fan.
Yeah, I still think about it every day, and it's just the coolest thing ever.
And has an even more special surprise. These stories and more coming up on Newsbreak.
Hello, South Florida. I'm Kenneth Bueno.
I'm Laura Palfrey. Today is Thursday, February 1st, 2024.
Live from the Lee Kaplan School of Journalism and Media in North Miami, this is Caplin News.
Despite the cold weather here in South Florida, things are heating up at Lone Depot Stadium in Miami. This morning, the Caribbean Series returns to Miami for the first time in over 30 years.
Caplin's Anthony Cruz is live outside of Lone Depot Park to break down the first day of action. Good morning, Anthony.
Miami gets yet another taste of international baseball this morning, as after playing host to the World Baseball Classic last year, Lone Depot Park becomes the first Major League stadium to host La Serie del Caribe.
The tournament comprises the Winter League champions of 7 Latin American and Caribbean countries. From February 1st to 7th, they will face off in round-robin fashion, with the 8th and 9th consisting of semifinal matchups, a third and first-place game. In just an hour from now, Nicaragua's Gigantes de Rivas will kick off its initial tournament berth against Puerto Rico's Criollo de Cajua, who will look to ride the momentum of their new manager, longtime Cardinals catcher Yadier Molina. Continuing with the theme of fresh faces in the bracket, the Curaçao Suns will start the country's second run in the tournament ever at 3:30 when they take on the Mexican team of Los Naranjeros de Hermosillo, who won their record-setting 17th championship in the Mexican Pacific League this year to appear in the tournament for the first time since 2014. The night will cap off with the odds-on favorite and most dominant team in series history, Los Tigres del Licey from the Dominican Republic, who are looking to become just the third team in the tournament's history to win it back-to-back, facing Venezuela's Tiburones de Guaira, who are representing their country for the first time in 38 years, with former Marlins manager Ozzie Guillen at the helm.
Don't get fooled by the tropical themes, though. It is still very cold out here in Miami, but that has not stopped people from coming in to see their countries play. Live from Lone Depot Park, Caplin News, I'm Anthony Cruz.
A teenager is facing charges today after authorities arrested him for being a serial swatter. 17-year-old Alien Filion has been extradited to Florida from California to face charges for swatting. Seminole County authorities say Filion threatened to commit a mass shooting at a mosque last year. Swatting is making a false report with the intention to lure police to a specific location.
Dozens of green sea turtles are back in the Gulf of Mexico this morning after a condition known as cold stunning. After being warmed back up, the turtles were released near Panama City Beach yesterday. Marine biologist with Gulf World Marine Institute says it's important that the water is not below 50 degrees or the turtles can get stunned again. And they say they don't panic if the turtles get overactive.
When they're flapping and they're angry, we want that. It means they're very fueled up and ready to go. Again, these turtles, by and large, are healthy, chunky, you saw, fat turtles that are just a little too cold. So we can warm them up. They've got plenty of energy to get back out there and go back to doing what they do best.
Just like iguanas here in South Florida, experts tell people not to touch sea turtles that look dead. Instead, just call the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission.
Court members returned this morning after an eventful day in the trial of a school shooter's mother. Near Detroit yesterday, testimony centered around text messages sent by Jennifer Crumbly to her son, the Oxford shooter. Simon Shaquette reports.
The message is from Mom. It was sent 1 hour prior, and it says, "Ethan, don't do it."
Taking the stand for the prosecution, Detective Lieutenant Sam Marsban, who oversaw investigation into the deadly shooting at Oxford High. The detective lieutenant telling a jury how Jennifer Crumbly urged her son not to carry out an attack only 1 hour before. But by then, the shooter was already in possession of his parents' weapon.
And it was a SIG 9mm handgun.
Jennifer eventually turning over her phone and password when told it was part of a court-ordered search. Soon after, she picked up a new prepaid phone, but did not share her number with detectives. Also taking the stand, a retired sheriff's detective who tracked Jennifer and James Crumbly during a manhunt into Detroit. They were later found hiding in an art studio at 1 a.m. Witness in the prosecution's case, a Detroit police corporal who helped take the Crumblys into custody as part of a special response team, describing the scene he encountered.
I see two people laying on a mattress,
I'm not mistaken, they were facing each other.
Prosecutors also calling firefighter Brian Malash, who admittedly had an affair with Jennifer. Malash telling the court Jennifer shared that she kept a 9mm handgun in her car, contrary to claims it was kept locked up. Malash also recalling Jennifer would leave work to see him romantically when she wanted, and seeing a text after the shooting that said,
"We're on the run again, helicopters, not sure where to message you."
That was Simon Shaquette from WXYZ. Witness testimony for the prosecution continues this morning.
A federal judge has dismissed Disney's lawsuit against Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. The complaint accused DeSantis of weaponizing his political power to punish the company after its opposition of the so-called Don't Say Gay bill. Dismissal of the suit is a victory for DeSantis, but Disney is pledging to press forward with the case.
When pen meets paper, danger knocks. Caplin News' Aisha Ambrister has more on the new movie Argylle, starring Bryce Dallas Howard and Bryan Cranston.
Some love to read spy books, others like to watch spy movies. But I wonder what would happen if both were combined.
Author of the Argylle series, Ellie Conway! I am such a fan.
Oh yeah? What is it you do?
Espionage.
Would you
sign my book? Here we go.
Bryce Dallas Howard gets a shock from Sam Rockwell in Argylle, the latest action thriller from director Matthew Vaughn.
You're a goddamn fortune teller, Ellie. What you wrote in your new book actually happened, and you kicked a hornet's nest you didn't even know existed.
There were many reasons why I wanted to do Argylle, working with Matthew Vaughn, playing the character of Ellie Conway, this incredible, insane, stacked cast.
That cast includes Henry Cavill, Ariana DeBose, John Cena, Dua Lipa, Samuel L. Jackson, Catherine O'Hara, and Bryan Cranston, who praised Vaughn for soliciting input from his actors.
I want all assets on them now.
I need her to write the next chapter.
You have actors that come up with ideas that can stretch and move something, and you really want a director who can pivot with that and go, oh, I love that, I love that.
If someone told me when I was 18, one day you're going to be A, a film director, but B, a film director directing these type of actors, I would have gone, you're nuts. So I feel blessed.
There's a lot more to the twisted plot, but if we told you, we'd have to,
Everybody's like, there's so much that goes on in the movie you can't give away. That lets audiences know that we got a whole lot of movie left. So you want to go to the theaters to see Argylle, to see all the twists, the turns, and the incredibly immersive world that Matthew Vaughn's created.
What happens next?
It's called a cliffhanger, Mother.
Ellie, it's called a cop-out.
Argylle officially premieres tomorrow, but you can see it as early as this evening by checking your local South Florida theaters. In the control room, Aisha Ambrister, Caplin News.
The Heat looking to snap a losing streak against the Kings.
That's still ahead, and so is this story.
I just feel super awesome that it's obviously a one-in-a-lifetime experience and that we can all actually do it together.
A gift gets doubled by an MVP. Newsbreak will be back in 2 minutes.
Severe weather can strike anytime, anywhere, but there's a simple way to stay safe. Hey, Jim Cantore here. I stay safe in dangerous weather by planning ahead. You can stay safe too with a few easy steps. Build an inexpensive kit with supplies for your family's needs. Write down important information like phone numbers and medications. Always talk with your family and remember any pets in your planning. Be ready, be safe. Start your plan today at ready.gov/plan.
I don't know why you're so sad. You've got a roof over your head.
You gotta stop with that depressing stuff. That's what white people think. You all right?
It just feels like it's coming from everywhere.
Do you want to talk about it?
You can talk to me if you're feeling sad.
Whenever you need to talk, I'm here, okay?
If you're buzzed and doing this, to make yourself feel okay to drive,
ZWX.
you're not okay to drive.
YGKLVW. Regular you.
A completed pass from an MVP quarterback to a really deserving fan. That team from Missouri got a big game surprise that he will never forget.
As KMBC's Alan Shope reports, he got 2 tickets back in December from none other than Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, I still think about it every day, and it's just the coolest thing ever.
No kidding, my man.
What's up?
Patrick Mahomes showing up and handing you Super Bowl tickets.
Even when I got the tickets at first, we still weren't even going to get in the playoffs at that point.
But the Chiefs turned it on, and Isaac, knowing he was going to the Super Bowl, has been on edge for 3 weeks, pulling for the Chiefs to get there.
First one, I was like, okay, and then whenever we won that second one, I'm like, we're 1 game away, and then once we won a couple days ago, that was just insane.
What's more insane is this 13-year-old 8th grader from Lee Summit had only been to 1 Chiefs preseason game in his life, so it's his first real Chiefs game, and it's a Super Bowl.
Obviously, since the Chiefs are there, it just made the whole experience 10 times better. You know, we're not going to get yelled at because we're in Chiefs gear or anything, and that we actually get to watch our team play.
Isaac's family had 2 tickets to the Super Bowl, and it was kind of a tough decision for him to decide who was going to watch the game with him. But then last week, something special happened.
Our church actually surprised us with 2 more tickets, and so then now all 4 of us are able to go.
This might be the best story of the week.
It just feels super awesome that it's obviously a one-in-a-lifetime experience and that we can all actually do it together.
That was KMBC's Alan Shope reporting. Isaac says he still has no idea where he'll be sitting at the game or if they'll be sitting together, but he knows he'll have a great weekend.
The 7-game losing streak for the Miami Heat finally snapped after dethroning the Sacramento Kings. Against a tough Western Conference opponent, the Heat found their stride with Josh Richardson putting up 24 points off the bench. Jimmy Butler had 31, and the Kings kept it close, but Miami finally grabbed the win with a final score of Heat 115, Sacramento 106. Miami's back on the road to take on the Washington Wizards tomorrow at 7 p.m. You're tuned in to Newsbreak. We're coming right back.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
How do you know when you've made the right decision? It's the feeling you get in your gut. The one that tells you what's right or wrong. It's the one that says, sure, I can have a drink. Or the feeling that says, okay, I've been drinking. Now what? It's the voice inside you that says, I'm buzzed. Better leave the car when it's time to go. Plan ahead. Catch a sober ride. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Every day,
Millions of people are connecting
and even though we're overcoming obstacles, watching each other's backs,
and banding together.
we should still make an effort
We should still make an
to
effort.
get to know each other.
On a deeper level.
Father,
Cosplayer,
Mentor.
actor.
it's time we take a step forward
It's time we take a step forward, come together,
and discover
how accepting our differences
can make us stronger.
That's all the time we have for Newsbreak. I'm Laura Palfrey.
And I'm Kenneth Bueno. Get more news anytime at caplinnews.fiu.edu.